Okay, guys, everybody ready to go?
Yes, sir.
How's everybody doing today? You doing good?
Yes, sir.
Right, well, I think, just talking to the team right there, practice performance is game day reality, right? We're a long way from being game ready, is what I would tell you. But, if we want championship results, we've got to have championship practice. I think the intensity in terms of how we prepare and practice should reflect the same urgency that we have on game day. Right? I know each one of the people in our organization, certainly the players, will want to win when we get to the games in the fall, right? But I think we've got to replicate those conditions for the players in practice. I think we did a lot of good today. Right? I was extremely proud of the effort. And a lot of bright spots. We all understand we're learning new systems. I think the big thing for me is we want to have a practice environment where we're working together to create as many teachable reps as possible. Right? And I thought the staff did a good job today. You learn by doing, right? You learn with repetition. And I think we'll get better as we go forward here. You got to train a certain way so that when it matters the most, you can perform and do your job for the team. So a lot of good out there today. What questions do we have here?
We'll open it up for questions, so go ahead.
Our first day, what were the highlights and what are the lowlights?
Yeah, I think overall just the approach by the players. I thought for the most part, I thought we were well prepared. I think we were efficient, we were organized, the staff did a great job, all the different parts. It takes a lot to get ready to practice. We're talking probably 200 people that contribute. So I was pleased with that. I thought we were well prepared, we were organized, the effort was good from the players. We faded a little bit at the end, but if we're doing it the right way, that's probably what's going to happen.
Sorry.
Overall, I just think the effort in general was really good, and I thought the staff was well prepared and it was organized and efficient.
Billy, I know you sat down with guys before the spring to kind of talk about things, and those are two-way conversations, but what were Emory's goals for sort of spring ball?
I don't necessarily know that we got specific relative to what are his exact goals. I think for the most part he's trying to learn a new system. We oftentimes will tell the quarterbacks that they're kind of the standard bearer of the organization, right? So everything that they do should reflect the goals of the entire organization, right? If a player's observing our quarterback room and an individual quarterback on our team, they would say that that's how it should be done, right? So a certain level of self-discipline in terms of how you live your life, right? Your work ethic, your discipline, your focus. I think he's learning a new system, and there's a lot to be learned out there, not only for him, but for the entire quarterback group.
Anthony, looked like first look at your club and your friend on the hoof. First of all, what was your immediate response? And secondly, speak to the issue of number 15. He was out there, looked good to what we saw. Can you address those two?
Yeah, no, I think I think the big thing for our team, if you evaluate our roster relative to just experience in general, right? If you look at the participation charts from the past, who's played a lot in games, we've got probably a first group that has some significant experience, but after that, there's a lot of unknowns, right? There's a lot of competition. So for me, that's what I see, right? I see a handful of players that have played. They know how to compete. They understand what's required to be ready to play in a big game. And then we got a lot of players that are really green, that we've got to do a good job of developing kind of that second and third group. And no, I agree with you. I thought 15 had a good day. I was impressed with what I saw. His attitude has been good. I think he's impressed me with how he retains information, his attention to detail. And today, to be honest with you, was the first time I've seen him throw the ball live. Right? So you didn't get a chance to see him throw it in bowl practice because he was injured. And it certainly comes out of his hand really well. So there's a reason why people think that he has an opportunity to be a good player, right? And it's our job to help him become the best player he can be. And that's what we're going to do.
He's not limited, right?
You know, he is not, he has been cleared. But, you know, we are kind of limited in the type of concepts that he's running in terms of putting him in position where he has to move around too much, if that makes sense. A little bit of a quick whistle. You know, our quarterbacks are always non-contact. But for the most part today, he participated just how he would participate if he didn't have the surgery and wasn't returning from the injury.
Yeah, everybody's excited about the new direction of the program here, Billy. Where do you guys stand, like, in the transition? I mean, it's 3 months now since you arrived from the old regime into the new.
Hey, you know, I think we've got a lot of work to do. You know, I think, you know, what we've observed, we've been through 2 phases. You know, I think we've, a lot of our time early was spent recruiting, hiring people. They're slowly trickling in and we're getting everybody up to speed. But I think just in general for me, we have to maximize each opportunity that we have with the players, right? And I feel like we've done that. Right? I thought the performance group did a really good job in phase 1 and phase 2. They're in condition, they were ready to go today. And now we've got to teach football, right? We've got to teach our formula in terms of how we win games. We've got to develop the team. So nobody wins or loses at practice, right? And we're trying to teach football. And certainly a lot of good teaching opportunities today.
During the open period, you could see and you were kind of coaching some of the managers, like where they need to be. Like, you know, I know it's your first practice here, literally. Like, how was the literal organization and structure of it?
Yeah, it was good. You know, we everybody out there made some mistakes today, right? There's no question, right? From the manager that works with the quarterbacks all the way up to the head coach, right? Nobody was perfect. You know, the key is that we're committed to trying to do our best. Everybody's got a role, right? I think that's part of the culture that we want to try to create, is that every person in that building contributes to our team, you know, all the way down to the guys that are videoing. You know, Rue and his staff are incredible. We're certainly thankful for Jeff and Jake, all the students, right? That's the cool thing about football, right? It's not just the players, man. We get to know the managers, we get to know the student trainers, the video crew. We've got a lot of people that make up the team. And you want each one of those people to take pride in their role. You know, when we win, they win, right? And, you know, so yeah, there was some, that's what you would expect from your first practice with an entirely new group.
Time for just a few more. Matt Baker?
Bill, to Edgar's question, you said there's still a lot to do as you kind of move this transition. What are kind of the biggest boxes left unchecked as you transition?
Well, every part of our year-round plan, it's the first time we've ever done it, right? So that's the first time we've been on a field of practice with a ball with our team, right? So I think you're just in year 1, right? We started phase 1. That was entirely new for every single person, right? So that's where we're at, right? I think each phase that we go through, it's new, right? It's new for a lot of the organization and the staff members, but also for the players, for sure. There's some carryover, there's some similarities, but you know, you're not only learning kind of a process, but you're learning new people. Does that make sense? I think it's a combination of both. You know, football's an awesome game because it is about people. There is a human element to the game, right? And you're building relationships with a lot of people. You know, so it's important that we trust each other. It's important that we communicate well with each other. And that's what we're doing. We're in the process of doing all those things.
Billy, how do you feel like the players responded to Mark during the first 2 phases, and how great has it been to have him just kind of lead your program to start things off?
Yeah, no, I think that's one of the things I would say I'm most pleased with is the reception of the players. I mean, they have really taken it and run with it. You know, they completely bought in. I mean, we have had very little resistance. They're excited, and certainly I think that goes back to hiring really good people. Not only people that are experts at what they do, but also sincere, authentic people that care for the players. And that's where we start with hiring people. Mark fits into that category, right? I mean, he's a very genuine guy that cares for the players. They sense that. He's also a great leader. And we've hired a great staff around him, right? So I thought phase one, phase two, we did about as good as you could expect for it to be the first year. We got a little bit better every day, and certainly I thought the same could be said for today.
Last question, Alan Taylor.
How do you gauge progress of quarterbacks before there's live periods and scrimmages? How do you kind of figure out who's retaining with what level of installs going on now?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a body of work, you know, if that makes sense. I mean, we're a long way away from naming any player in that facility at any position, right? Right now, we're trying to teach football. Competition is happening each and every rep, each and every day. I'm with them, right, every day in the meeting, on the field, and certainly, you know, when we do get to that point, it'll be about the body of work. We have something to compare it to, and I think as we go forward, that, you know, I think the big thing here is the install increases, right? That will really uncover a lot about how quickly a guy can learn, how much he can retain, you know, how fast he can process this. It's not only offensively, right, but it's the number of variables on offense combined with the number of variables on defense, right? So a lot going on.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, guys.
Thanks, guys. We'll have Coach Hoffman here in a second, all right?
Thanks for being here, guys.
So you gotta be the glory.
Yeah, he's